Have you ever noticed something? It's always the people who don't know shit about your life that always trying to tell you what to do with it.
I'm the librarian, and I came to read.
I decided to do a whole video on this topic because every time I talk about it, like on a live stream or something, because usually live streams are where I talk about sensitive, cute little topics like this, where I feel like everyone, including me, needs help trying to process very personal type of things. Every time I talk about it, I get a good response like, girl, I needed to hear this, some type of shit. So I feel like it's not only good therapy for me, but it's also a good way to just get these feelings out for the Adrian Army. It's a lot of you guys that want to know about confidence and want to make sure that you continue to feel better about yourselves, because self-esteem is not no type of destination, but self-esteem can be a long ass journey. So we're going on this journey together, and today we're going to talk about not only confidence but failure and feeling stagnant. A lot of times I hear people talk about their life as if it's some type of race. They're very unhappy with their life simply because they feel like they haven't done enough. The problem that I think we all have is that we compare our lives to others, not realizing that your version of success may not look like the success that someone else has in their life. There are successful people that you know in mainstream media who didn't start successful businesses until they were like in their 50s, 60s, 70s. Like, if those people had compared their life to someone else's, they would not have kept pushing and they would not have built whatever they have today. I remember there are a bunch of stories. I remember Oprah was being fired from one job at one point in her 20s. I think Michael Jordan got kicked off of a basketball team. So, and I know I'm using these cliche examples, but I'm just saying that to say, if you continue to compare what you have to someone else's, oh, well, this person was doing this in their 20s and I'm just doing this basic shit. A lot of times that shit does not matter. Stay on track with the journey that you have, the resources that you were given, use them with all the power that you have and keep pushing. The only thing that matters in life is, are you willing to keep going? No matter how many times you fail or how many times somebody else thinks that you fail, are you willing to take your ass up and keep going, or are you going to stop? And a lot of times, believe it or not, your family members can be some of the most discouraging people on the face of the planet, simply because your path may not look like how theirs looked. And because I guess some of them, I'm not saying all family members, because I know some family members are trash, but a lot of times some family members have your best interests at heart. So because your journey to success may look different, they may be like, well, girl, that's a lot of risk to take. I don't know if you should be doing that. So get all that negativity out your life. Surround yourself with people who are starting their own businesses. Surround yourself with people who are going back to school. Whatever you're doing, surround yourself with people who are taking the alternative route, if that's what you're doing. Keep pushing. A lot of times people feel like they're failures because they've grown up and only heard of traditional routes. They've only heard of, you need to do X, Y, and Z by this age. You need to get this done by this age. And that's not how life works all the time. The most important thing to me when I look for a friendship is ambition. I don't care what your ass is doing, as long as you're happy and as long as you continue to move forward and you continue to grow. Growth is something that is very important to me. I don't want to stay stagnant, but at the same time, I'm not going to push myself at a speed simply because other people are getting things faster than I am. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay on track with my life and with the emotional stress that I can handle. I'm not going to sit up here and compare myself to Beyonce when I only have Adrian Expression resources around me. Like, I'm not going to expect my ass to have Beyonce Knowles success when the things that are in my life are Adrian Expression resources. In life, you get dealt certain cards and it's trash sometimes, but as long as you can use them intelligently, you don't have to be stressing about what the next bitch is doing. And let me tell you something about that. A lot of these people like to put on a front, like, okay, well, girl, I'm that bitch, honey. And especially when they like to be in social outings, they like to remind your ass that I've done X, Y, and Z. What have you done? A lot of these bitches who do that as some type of mask or some shit, they like to let you know what they've done instead of who they are when you meet them. They like to let you know that, well, I've got this award and that degree and I've done this and I've done that. A lot of times people who put that first instead of the person that they are, instead of their personality, they are very unhappy. They are unhappy with who they are. They think that they don't measure up, and it's a lot of people who you would not guess. They may have all the money and the success, but they're not content with their life. So they try and put that out first. They try and put their accomplishments out first to try and degrade you so that they can feel better. But as long as they're putting you down, they can feel like they're on top. But don't be under the illusion that everybody who meets your criteria of success is happy and they've got it going on. If you go behind the scenes, a lot of times these people are depressed and they want a friend, but they keep pushing the true ones away because of their insecurities. Do not get caught up on the petty shit shit. When if you're living your life and you're growing and you're ambitious and you are happy, do not be pressed about what the next bitch is doing, because you never know what they had to give up for it. Everything in life comes with a cost. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you do. Everything in life costs something. And if it didn't cost something, you best believe that it can be erased within the very same second that you got it. My mother always told me anything that is worth something costs something. She told me you want these degrees, you're gonna have to give up something for it. And I noticed if you want a certain amount of success, it's a price tag that comes with it. So a lot of these people that you think, oh, well, girl, I should be running my own multi-billion-dollar company by this point. What do you think you're gonna have to give up for it? What do you think you're gonna have to give up for it? There's a cost. You're gonna have to give up your sleep. You're gonna have to give up your time. It's gonna cost money, especially when it comes to financial risks and stuff like that. If you are happy with your growing small business, don't compare yourself to somebody who probably had to give up their whole life to run a multi-billion-dollar one. If you are completely happy with serving your community in your small business or in your small ventures, and that's what you feel like you could do for the rest of your life, don't let somebody else make you feel like you're not enough simply because you're not pulling in billions of dollars. Girl, your story is important. Your story matters. Don't let this trash ass view of what the American dream should look like, or whatever country you're in watching this, steer you away from happiness. For example, don't get married simply because society tells your ass to, or have kids simply because all your family members expect you to. Be happy because once your family members die off, you're gonna be stuck with whatever decisions you made trying to please them, and then they're not even gonna be here to look at it. And I wanted to touch on confidence before I close the video. I know I said this in previous videos, but I want to remind you again, confidence is not a personality trait, it is a skill. That means you have to practice it. And I know that may sound weird or confusing when I say it, but if you think about it, you always have to work on self-worth. You always have to remind yourself, well, girl, I am that bitch. Because there are thousands of voices telling you the opposite, especially if you're a minority, especially if you're black, a woman, etc. There are thousands and millions of voices telling you the opposite, telling you you ain't shit, your skin should be lighter, X, Y, and Z. So yes, confidence is something you have to work day in and day out to make sure that you maintain, because if you slack up for a second, you will start to be consumed by, especially in mainstream media, you will start to be consumed by these voices, subconscious or not, telling you that you're not enough, your looks are not enough, your ethnic background is trash. It will consume you, so that's why you have to constantly fight back against the voice like, girl, no ma'am, I am that bitch, and you hoes will recognize, bow down. That's why I like empowering ass music and songs, and even TV shows if you can find it, that just make you feel like, girl, I don't work too hard for you hoes to overlook me, bitch. I am that girl, and you're just gonna have to deal. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly talk about that. Hopefully you guys are encouraged on this good ass Tuesday. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not worth it when their asses are probably struggling with their own self-esteem anyway. Okay, have a good evening.